Right. Okay. Let's see. Edit. Uh, whoa. Okay, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to go. I'm going live in another platform as well. So I am checking it out. Why are we not going live? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Guys, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Say hi. Tell me where you're watching from while I set up my other studio. Guys, I'm trying to go live on Facebook at the same time. We forgetting. Thank you guys. As you guys are joining, go ahead and let me know where you're joining from while I figure out my next situation. Okay. All right, add a new destination, Facebook page. Let's see. Gonna do Facebook page. Connect. Right, gonna connect here. Okay, it's already connected. Good. All right, we're gonna do my profile too here. Guys, just give me a second. I'm just setting up so I can go live at the same time on Facebook, so I don't have to do so many lives each time I come on. So just give me a second. But while I do this, go ahead and get comfortable. Pick up your water, your hot coffee, or your hot chocolate, wherever you are. I know a lot of you guys are in these big cities like Maryland and New York where it is snowing. Well, I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying that, well, those big cities come with a cost. Memphis has no snow. Yay! It is not snowing here. Look at the jacket I'm wearing. This is literally all I wore today. So eat your heart out. So, ah, oh Lord. Uh, 1 second, guys. All right, create broadcast. All right, guys, let me see who's watching right now. The broadcast. Yes, we are good to go. Go live. All right, so now I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Guys, first of all, let me say thank you to all my Instagram followers. You guys are the best. You guys rock. I mean, my Facebook followers, no matter when I come live, it's like y'all just be waiting on my fool to come live. I appreciate the love. Everybody appreciate the love. Keep it coming. You guys are my fuel and I appreciate it. Facebook viewers, I appreciate you guys too. In every capacity as well. But lately, man, I just have to say that my other peeps, my Instagram peeps, have been just like taking over. You know, they have been taking over. All right. So, guys, today I really does it get cold in Memphis? It does, just not that cold. Like I think the other day was it Wednesday or Thursday when I took a picture with a coat on. That was the first time I really had to wear my big coat all year. So it gets cold, but just a little, and I don't think to the extent where we have to wear much. A couple of years back, it did snow. I think 2-3 years ago, it snowed, and it will usually snow for just 1 to 2 days, nothing much. But when it snows, it's such a big feat or holiday. You know, kids get out of school. The kids, schools closed when it snows here. Work closes. Everything closes. Everything closes down when it snows. We can't handle the snow. What can I say? We're small town people. We can't handle the snow. Do I speak Creole? No, I speak only French and just a little. Well, at least I speak enough. Bonjour, comment ça va? Est-ce que vous êtes bien? Um, est-ce que vous faites bien aujourd'hui? I can speak a little, un peu de français. Okay, a little French, or at least a little more than French. I actually majored in French when I was in undergrad because I knew I was going to go to law school and I wanted to just enjoy my life while I was in college. I didn't, because I knew I had heard about law school here, especially in America, that it is stressful, it's stressful as heck, that you have no life. So having that in mind, I just wanted to focus and major on what I liked and just enjoy my 4 years. So, but little did I know French is a very difficult language. Like French is so difficult because there's like so many ways to say one thing. And so when I would say something in French back then, sometimes if you say it the wrong way, you can be saying something wrong or saying something else. So it has very many ways. There's so many ways to speak French, to say one thing in French. It could be like five different ways to say one thing in French. So it makes it a very difficult language to learn. It's a very difficult language also to write, to read. In fact, I think reading is the most difficult thing to do in French. I can write pretty well. I think, talk pretty well, but to write French is like a whole nother skill. Like to properly write French, right? Written French is difficult. So, to my surprise, it ended up becoming a really difficult major, but I enjoyed it. Then I minored in communication because your girl likes to communicate, and I minored also in political science. So then I got to law school, and then the rest was history. In law school was no playing; it was all books, and then finished, and couple of bar exams later, I became a lawyer. All right. So I'm going to jump in. It's like 35 people now. It's time to start talking. First of all, guys, thank you so much for being here today again, once again. Now, today I want to discuss the topic of New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions. Why? Because we have like literally only 10 days left. I think 10 or 11 days left in this year. Can you believe it? We made it, y'all. We made it through this hella difficult year. We made it. And I just have to say, I don't know if you're a believer, but I just have to say, all glory to God that we made it through this year. Like this has been a very, very difficult year, but we've made it. And so today, I really just wanted to talk to you guys about, what are you looking forward to as the year is coming to an end now? Are there particular things you're looking forward to as this year is coming to an end? For me, as a lawyer, I have particular goals, particular things I'm looking forward to in the next year. But now I just want to talk to you guys about, now, what are your goals? What are the things you should be looking forward to as this year comes in, especially if you haven't filed anything immigration related and you need to, especially if you don't have a green card, you need to do something about your immigration status, but like you're holding back for one reason or another. Now, if that sounds like you, then definitely, I'm talking to you today. Okay, I'm definitely talking to you today. Now, I always say, each particular time I come live, that people do hear me, do hear my message, and for whatever reason or not, people always make their decision of whether to file for something or not based on certain fears, certain hindrances. So, like, that's what I want to address today. What's your fear about filing for VAWA? That's usually what I come and I talk about. You've heard all my lives, or most of my lives. You've heard all the different information I can give you, all the different perspectives as to why this will work, as to why we're going to win your case if you let me help you. You've heard all the different perspectives that I give as to why nothing is going to happen to your spouse. Their last two times I was here live last week, just in 2-3 days ago, I was talking to you about, the things that usually hinder people from filing for VAWA and why they're just excuses. And so I guess my message today to you again is every reason why you're saying you don't want to file for VAWA when you know you qualify is just an excuse. It's just a lie you've told yourself. It's just something you've convinced yourself of that's not true. And we're going to go one by one on them. Number one on that list, I don't want anything to happen to my spouse. I know she did something crazy to me. I know he did something crazy to me, but I really don't want anything to happen to my spouse. Well, I've told you over and over that nothing's going to happen to your spouse. I've told you that over and over. So now, like, what's holding you back? Yeah? What's holding you back? You have nothing holding you back. I've told you over and over that I've filed so many of these applications and nothing has ever happened to any of their spouses, for the spouses who belong to my current VAWA clients or past VAWA clients. Nothing has ever happened to them. So what's holding you back? You can go and Google the law on VAWA, and it will tell you that as part of VAWA, when you file a VAWA application, nothing can happen to your spouse. You can go on USCIS website, immigration website, look that up, and it's going to tell you that as a part of VAWA, as a condition of VAWA, when you file a VAWA application, absolutely nothing can happen to your spouse. Okay? So as to that first excuse that people give, again, I say, what is your excuse? I mean, again, I say, what's holding you back? Because it's really, truly just that. It's an excuse. Okay? And a mentor of mine says it this way. He says, at any time when someone presents you with information, right, there's always a reason why you shouldn't do it. And it's a valid excuse. It's a valid fear. It's valid, but at the end of the day, it is still just an excuse. If you want to lose weight, like I've been wanting to lose weight sometime here because of stress and working all the time. I just picked up a couple of pounds the last few months. But all of a sudden, as this year was ending, I just said no more excuses, because I was saying, well, it's COVID-19 time. I don't want to go to the gym. What if I get COVID? Well, that's a valid excuse. But the reality is sitting at home and doing it. Okay. But then I was like, okay, well, I can just go work out outside. Working out outside will just do the trick. I mean, I always just can go and work out outside. Well, problem is I wasn't going. So on a weekend, when I have a little bit of time, because I'm so busy, when I have a little bit of time to go walking, because I'm so tired and I wasn't working out with anyone, I would lose motivation to go outside and just walk, right? So since I lack that motivation right now to go by myself, I just needed to get a personal trainer. I just need to go ahead and just do what I got to do to get back in shape. Okay? So I'm still on that journey, but now this is week 2, week 3 of working out, and I'm like, yeah, I've made excuses all this year, and they're valid excuses. So every time I'm working out at the gym, there's a couple of people there. The chance of getting COVID is higher, true. But at the same time, there's no, how can I put it? But at the same time, there's no give and take. I mean, you just can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, if I want to lose weight, I've just got to get out there, period. If you want your green card, you cannot get it by not applying for anything. You got to take that chance. You cannot get your green card by worrying about what's going to happen to your spouse, because your spouse is not filing for you, or they're refused, or they've delayed, or they've told you, they've threatened you many times before that if they do file for you, what they're going to end up doing is, they've threatened and said that, if they do come to the interview, they're going to sabotage yours or whatever situation it may be. That the route with your spouse is not working. And based on listening to me over and over, based on my TikTok videos, my live videos, anything that I put out, whether you qualify for vow based on my YouTube videos. So again, my question is, what's your excuse? Excuse number one is I don't want anything to happen to my spouse. Valid excuse. But at the end of the day, it is still an excuse. You have to let go of it to get your 10-year green card. And I have explained to you that by law, nothing, absolutely nothing can happen to your spouse. And so now it's just really up to you whether you want to believe it or not. Right? Excuse number two is I don't have any money. Or I don't want to spend a lot on this, or I don't want to lose the time I've already spent on this current application and start a vow. But I've explained to you now a couple of times, and even the last video I explained to you, I said, hey, if you have a pending marriage-based application, we can convert it over to a vow part of it so that you don't lose that time you've been waiting on. You know, that time you'd already used. You're not gonna lose that time. So I've explained that. So then what's your excuse? You said, well, I don't have any money. Well, this world functions by money, and that's true. It's a valid excuse. Some people really don't have money, but you're gonna have money for something. You may not have money for me for to pay my services, but you have enough money to pay maybe another lawyer. I mean, it's gonna cost you either way. I have an assistant of mine who says cheap is expensive. Let me say that again. Some people say they don't have money because it's not because they don't really have any money per se, but they'd rather use their money somewhere else, or they just don't spend a lot of money on things, which is okay. But I will entreat you that cheap is expensive. I mean, I've seen that happen so many times in my life. Anytime we growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so we used to always cut corners. Whenever we needed a house remade or done, so, I think our house burned down a couple of years back. It burned down because of, I don't know, a candle that was left on. And when it burned down, I think my brother was in charge of dealing with the insurance company and getting contractors. And so we hired the cheapest people ever because we're trying to save money, save some of the money we're going to get from insurance and keep it. So when I tell you that was the worst decision ever, maybe a year after they refixed the house, everything started to break down. And I mean, everything. And so most recently, just this year, we've been remodeling my mom and dad's house. We've been remodeling afresh. And it seems like we're having to basically rebuild the house because we took so many because the people we hired that were trying to save money with took so many corners and shortcuts that dang, it's like we had to rebuild this house all the way. So, but I think had we paid a good professional the money they were worth, we would have ended up saving money now. Now the remodel would have only cost us a couple of $1,000s. But now, because we cut so many corners back then in hiring somebody cheap, I don't want to tell you how much we've spent on remodeling my mom and dad's house. It's been super expensive. It's like basically like we've bought a new house. I mean, it's basically like we have put in a lot of money in that house simply because we were trying to save money back then. So again, I will tell you, cheap is expensive. Just keep that in mind. Cheap is expensive. Okay. I always say this in consultations, and I'll say it again too here. Not many people are specialized in VAWA. And I've seen applications where someone went to a lawyer that they felt was cheap, but that lawyer didn't even know anything about VAWA. And so they spent very little money, and then they had to do all the work. They had to write their statement. The client themselves wrote their statement, did everything for themselves because you paid someone a little money. So the lawyer didn't do it for you, number one. And then number two, the lawyer didn't even know what to do. Even if the lawyer knew he was supposed to be the one writing all your legal statements, if he doesn't know what to do or she doesn't know what to do, she doesn't know what to do. She just doesn't know. And reality is most people will just take your money. If you go to a lawyer and say, I want to file for VAWA, even if they don't know what they're doing, most likely they'll just take your money, mess you up. And then you're still going to have to come back to me or someone who knows what they're doing to fix it. So again, everything is just an excuse. Okay? Then I hear the excuse of, you know, we've been together for a long time. We have kids together. We have this, we have this. But I like what Steve Harvey said, and that's a valid excuse. Totally valid. Nobody wants to leave someone after you've been together for so long. You feel like you've wasted your time. Totally valid. I felt like that before walking away from a previous ex of mine as well. I sure did. But I remember one thing Steve Harvey said that is so true. He said, so you've wasted 3, 4 years with this person, or 5 or 10 years with this person. So you want to waste another 10 years with them? Is that what you're saying? So you've been together this long. Now are you willing to spend another moment with this person who treats you like trash? I never advocate for you to leave anybody. That's not what I'm saying, by the way. That's not the purpose of this live. I'm literally just saying any excuse you have as to why you did not file for VAWA in 2020, they're valid excuses, but at the end of the day, it's still just an excuse, because there is that statement that says where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do it, you're going to get it done. I've seen that in single mothers and single dads as clients. When they just finally get to the point where they're like, nope, enough is enough. I need my green card. I know I'm qualified for VAWA. I want to do this. When they finally get to that point, guess what? They get it done. So my point to you today is whatever you're saying is just an excuse. It's valid. It's a valid excuse. But when you take out the validity of it, it's still just an excuse. Because we either create excuses as to why we don't want to do something, or we make a way when we want to do something. I'm going to say that again. We either create excuses as to why we don't want to do something, or we make a way when we want to do it. So anyway, make your choice today. So guys, I'm done preaching now. Any questions? Any questions? I know you guys are always used to hear me laughing and smiling, but I can be serious too. Any questions? Any questions before I log out? Any questions? Any questions? Your question is this: I've submitted a renewal of my 765 or 10 months now. They have not renewed. Please, what will I do? Thanks. I'm not sure what you can do about it. Maybe you can write them a letter. It usually shouldn't take that long. You can try that, or you can call them as well, and they'll tell you when you should expect to get it. You know, that's the response to Andy. Okay. Can you travel out of state with a driver's license? I always advise that when you don't have your green card, just drive wherever you have to go, if possible. I'm sure you can. It's just a risk, you know. But if I was you, I would drive. Okay. Can you file for your parents? Depends if you're a citizen or not, Sophia. You have to be a U.S. citizen to file for your parents. Okay. Yes, I do file for green cards. That's really a lot of what I do. I file for citizenships too. I file for green cards through VAWA or through the regular way where a spouse is filing for another spouse. Okay. Miss Anthony Kessie, I said this before in so many lives. I don't discuss certain details like how long the VAWA cases take. That's something I only discuss in a consultation. So if you're truly, truly interested, call me. Call my office, 901-306-7123. I do give a lot of free advice, a lot of good advice on my lives, on my YouTube channel, name it, on TikToks, but I simply don't share everything live or publicly. Some things, if you need to know, you just have to call, schedule a consultation, and I'll get you taken care of. All right. Okay. Someone says answer our questions too. Okay. All right. Interesting. Why don't I answer the question? Well, Juma, I really have every right not to answer your question. That's number one. Number two, I don't see what your question is. Okay. Okay. Have we coming to my live telling me what to do? Jeez. Okay. Use firstborn. Yes, usually if you want specific legal advice, that's the answer to user 1678, then you need to schedule a consultation. I'm originally Kenyan. Originally Kenyan. Okay. Uh, and that's the answer to Fatima and Juma. All right. Shan Vendetta. I also don't discuss cost, how much I charge, usually until I've had a conversation with you, until I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for you. That's when I would charge you. So schedule a consultation if you want to know that. All right. Do I speak Swahili? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. We're located in Tennessee, Innocent Bashimbe, and we've been practicing for about 6 years, close to 6 years, in immigration law. And we've always represented all 50 states. If you look at my Instagram and take a look, you'll see pictures over the years with clients in different cities and states. So that I have taken with my different clients. Each time we won a case, at an interview or at a hearing, I take pictures in different places. So take a look and you'll see definitely we represent all 50 states. Okay. All right. That's also on my Facebook. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it. That's all the questions I see. I'm gonna type here again the how you can find me on my username on YouTube. Okay, I always have really great tips on VAWA. A lot of questions you may want to know are probably located on you can find them on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I have like 20 or something YouTube videos on just VAWA, on many different aspects of VAWA. So always take a look at that. And if you know someone who has questions about VAWA, always send them my YouTube link. It's easier for them to scroll through and see it. Do they even qualify for VAWA from there than from other places? Okay. Then I'm gonna put what else was I gonna, and on Facebook you can find me at Immigration Helper as well. Okay. So I'm an Immigration Helper on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, those are my names on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. All right, guys. It's that kind of light live. That's all I wanted to discuss today. Let me see if there's anything else I need to answer here before I go. Yes, Zoom meetings at the consultations. Yes, I do charge. My consultations are $150 and they cover up to an hour with me. Okay, so the consultation fee is $150 and they cover up to an hour with me over Zoom or over the phone, according to your preference. Got married in America. I have 3 months to submitted documents to immigration and still have not been called for fingerprints interview. How long is the procedure? Please. So it depends. Depends on when you are. Usually it could take up to a year for the green card process, depending on who filed for you, beauty salon. Call my office. Let's discuss the rest. Okay, I think I'm missing some questions here. What is VAWA? VAWA stands for Violence Against Women Act. It's a misnomer though, so it basically applies and helps any person, including a lot of men, who will find themselves in a toxic, abusive relationship with a U.S. citizen or green card holder. So it's a way for you to get a green card because of because of being in a toxic marriage. Okay. So I have lots and lots of videos on this on my YouTube channel if you want to educate yourself. Okay. I said this the other day, and this is my response to Aunt Jemima 91. I said this the other day, and it's on so many lives, and I'll keep saying it because I have new people coming in. So it's something I have to keep re-saying. If your spouse is refusing to file for you, or delaying, like purposely delaying, or saying things like, "I believe the day you get your green card, you're gonna leave me." So these three things are usually indicators in my mind that you probably have a VAWA case. Because it's that insecurity of feeling like, of your spouse feeling like you're going to leave them when you get a green card, that usually leads them to be sort of abusive and very toxic with you. Okay. They start keeping tabs on your every move. They start controlling and isolating you. Uh, they start checking your messages, whatever. They start blowing up your phone to make sure you are where you are when you say you are. That insecurity of feeling like you only marry them for papers. That's usually what causes someone to get toxic. Okay. So when I see that, I already usually kind of already know you probably have a violent case. So Aunt Jemima, you want to call me, or if you know someone who's in that situation, have them call me ASAP. You can even call now, and someone will answer. So that's 901-306-7123. Okay. Give us some good information with happiness. I give a lot of good information with happiness, Asher. All you need to do is check out my YouTube channel, check out my Instagram channel. You'll see lots of uh, good information with happiness. Okay. Again, VAWA gives you the ability to get a 10-year green card, and instead of usually when a spouse files for you, you have to get a 2-year green card first, then before you get a 10-year green card. So with VAWA, you're able to skip that. You skip the 2-year process and you go straight into a 10-year green card, which is so critical because so many people, at least I know a lot of Kenyans and Africans and Nigerians who are stuck at the 2-year process. So they usually get that 2-year conditional green card, no problem. But when things start to go wrong in the marriage or whatever happens, they get stuck there and they're not able to remove the conditions and get a 10-year green card. So after getting the 2-year green card, before getting the 10-year green card, a lot of people I know, Kenyans, Nigerians, name it, are stuck at that place. So which is why VAWA is such a great thing, because VAWA enables you to skip that. Okay, so that way you're never stuck in this middle stage. Okay. If you know someone who has a 2-year conditional green card and is going through hell, and their spouse is now going to refuse to file the removal conditions application with them, you need to tell them to call me. I can file a version of VAWA for them to get a 10-year green card. Okay, so tell them to call me. I take a lot of those cases as well. Okay. When you get your work permit, your VAWA, not necessarily. Sometimes you get that before your VAWA is approved. That's the answer to Debbie. Okay. Okay, Fatima, you can file for your mother if you're a U.S. citizen. You can file for her. Okay. Yeah, I do regular cases, Jade. I do, but these are my specialty. These are, well, I wouldn't say my specialty. These are my passion. These are my passion. Yeah. Okay. All right. So some of these questions, guys, I'm skipping because you just need to call and schedule a consultation so we can talk further. I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Love you guys. Share the word, spread the word. This whatever live should be on my Instagram shortly. If it's not there, you can find it on YouTube, and also I think you can find it